This is Rob.
Hi, Rob. We've spoken several times now. I wasn't sure if you remembered me.
Yeah, Adam, I remember you.
Great. So here's the thing. You guys came out here twice to clean out my HVAC system. The second time you came out because I told you that I had mold in my system.
Okay.
You swore to me that there was no way that that was your guys' fault, and I pointed out to you at that time that it was on your website that you handle mold in the HVAC systems, and you told me you didn't, since shortly after the flood. You sent your guys out here. Your truck wasn't quite ready yet, but you sent your guys out here to help me out and try and get rid of the mold. My wife and I have still been sick. Through me going through every source I could find, I found that your evap coils like to collect all that dirt and grime. I just pulled a bunch of mold out of my evap coil. Now, when you guys put it in the furnace, you had to rewrap that in metal, like the metal sheeting that goes around it. You guys had to rewrap it. And when you guys cleaned out my HVAC system, you guys went right above my evap coil.
Okay.
So I'm assuming all of your guys are certified, and I'm not sure why none of them would have thought, hey, maybe this is the issue right here. But I just pulled a bunch of dirty, yucky, gross crap out of my evap coil.
Okay.
So my wife and I have been sick since the first time you guys came out here, and you admitted to me that the gentleman that did that the first time you had several complaints about, and you had to take him off of that truck.
Okay.
So here's where I stand. My evap coil has something in it that is disgusting and that I'm cleaning out right now as we speak. My wife and I have been sick since November. Full refund for the entire furnace system that you put in. You made my wife and I sick. You sat there and you lied to me in your office. At this point, I need a full refund for that system, please.
Okay. Well, let's see here. So we installed this in November of this last year.
Correct.
Since then, we did the duct cleaning. Let me see here. Did that on the 20th. We came back in April. We did that second duct cleaning for you.
So there's no reason why that evap coil should be that dirty. I've only done half of it, and the stuff I pulled out is disgusting.
Okay. But all we replaced was the furnace. We didn't replace the evaporator coil.
You still had to move it. You still had to take everything apart, and you had to rewrap it. And when you cleaned out my ductwork, you literally went right above my evap coil out in the open where everything could collect and gather. And you guys didn't think to spray that out while you were working on it all. And you guys didn't think to tell me that, hey, this might be an issue. So I sat here with mold in my HVAC, confirmed by several swab tests that I did. You guys told me that there's no way that's possible, no way that's possible. I just vacuumed it all out. So it's definitely possible.
Okay. So I guess here's what I don't quite understand is, are you saying that we put that on the coil?
I'm saying that when you guys cleaned out my ductwork, there might have been something in there. I don't know. But back in November when it was cleaned out, shortly thereafter, my wife and I started getting sick. Our pets started getting sick. I change out my filter religiously.
Yeah.
And I have called you guys several times. I have been to your office to try and figure this out, and I've shown you guys the slides with the mold, showing you exactly where I put them, and exactly where it got collected.
Okay.
I have tried and tried to get you guys to do something about it. And then you guys told me that you don't handle mold in the HVAC systems. And I told you, yes, you do. It's on your website. Yeah. You guys then saw it on your website and said, oh, crap, we haven't done it since shortly after the flood.
Yeah. Okay.
So because of all of that, and because of the fact that I've been sick, my wife's been sick, and my animals have been sick, and because all this could have been prevented just by telling me, hey, might be your evap coil, clean it out.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really frustrating, and I hope you understand exactly how calm and how collected I am trying to be about this whole thing. But when I have called you guys now probably a dozen times, I've tried to figure this out now for months, and I finally came across some YouTuber who does nothing but HVAC and has this certification and knew exactly where the issue would be. That's kind of sad.
Okay.
How many of your techs have been to my house?
We've had a few guys there for you.
Exactly. And the last time you guys sent somebody out to clean, there were 2 guys that came out. I told them both the whole thing about how the mold issues and everything, and they didn't think once about, hey, maybe it's the evap coil either.
Yeah.
So again, I've wasted all this time being sick. My wife's been sick. My animals have been sick. Make it right. You need to refund the entire furnace purchase. That's the best way I can think of right now, because it is your company's fault that this happened.
Okay. So, a couple thoughts for you here, and you're probably not going to agree with me, but when we changed out that furnace, your existing duct system is completely separate. I agreed with you. We did not do as good of a job on the duct cleaning that we could have. And we came back out and did I sent 2 of my best guys.
Why didn't they think to clean out the evap coil? Literally, where they hooked up to get the return air system to try and get negative pressure is literally right above my evap coil out in the open. There's nothing blocking that. So all that dirt and grime can collect right there, and none of the 3 that you sent out thought once, hey, we need to clean this as well since it's right here and our vac is going right here.
So typically we don't clean other existing components of equipment unless there's an issue with that.
Right, like there was this entire time, and like you came out in April to try and fix. Is that correct? So there was a problem at that point in time that you guys knew about, and I showed you, and you still didn't clean the system correctly.
So when we came out in April, so we had David come out there on after hours. Is that what you're referring to?
No. When you sent your 2 best guys, you said, to come clean out my ductwork, one of which had no idea even how to do any of it, for the record. Neither of them thought, hey, this might be your issue right here if you're having a mold problem. Okay. Why?
So Adam, I sent my 2 guys out there. The one guy, you're right, had no idea. He's never really done duct cleaning, never been involved with it. I sent him out there to help, to make sure we did as thorough of a job as possible for you, trying to go above and beyond.
Do you really want to see the pictures of everything I just pulled out of my evap coil, or the video I took of me doing it?
Your evaporator coil is a completely separate component.
How is it a separate component if you guys are going right above it, right where it sits?
If we replaced your air conditioner and that was a new evaporator coil and you were having these issues, absolutely.
It is a new evaporator coil, sir. I got it a year before my furnace. Okay. It is literally a year older than my furnace, and that's it. It shouldn't have this issue whatsoever.
Who installed the evaporator coil for
JP, Plumbing and Heating.
Okay. Have you thought about reaching out to them?
No, sir, because they didn't clean out my ductwork and cause the issue in the first place.
We didn't add...
Because we never had an issue with being this sick until after you guys came out.
Okay.
And now when you guys had to pull out the old furnace, you guys didn't move the evaporator coil to the side and say, okay, we'll put it back and make sure it's clean when we're done. You guys literally suspended it up. You swapped out the furnace.
Yep.
And what did you do with it then? Because there had to be stuff flying around in the first place from the old furnace getting taken out. You didn't do anything then to clean it out. Because you literally had to go and you had to get somebody to actually machine out the metal so you could frame it. So all of this combined, sir, You guys failed me on multiple points here.
Is what you found above the evaporator coil or below it?
It is in it and is in the pan. It is literally what has been collecting inside it. I literally just took a rainbow vacuum to it with a soft brush and just did the one side. And oh my God, is the water absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. So the way those work, I mean, evaporator coils.
They literally pull out the condensed water in the air. I am aware of how they work, sir.
Yep. So those pull moisture out of the air.
I also hooked it up to the drain first, sir. And the amount of stuff that I pulled out of the drain alone shouldn't have been there either in the first place. So the fact that I was able to pull all of that out of the drain from the get-go, and from the fact that since we started up our air, it hasn't been working correctly, and it worked even better last year with that old furnace in place and the old blower in place, everything adds up to this was a problem that your guys created. I am asking very nicely one more time. I would like a refund for the entire system and install that you guys did. This has been an ongoing issue. My wife and I have literally been sick since November. My animals have been sick. You guys screwed up. This is a learning experience for you guys alone.
So we've been doing duct cleaning for 30
You've also been falsely advertising for over 15 years. So go ahead and finish your thought. I apologize for interrupting you.
So, Adam, I feel like we have gone over and above trying to accommodate this.
How? You guys have not actually cleaned out what was actually the problem in the first place, and it took me figuring it out. You've had how many licensed or certified gentlemen come out and look at my system, and none of them figured it out until I literally went down there with a shop vac and pulled it out myself.
So we didn't install the evaporator coil for you. We haven't serviced the air conditioner for you.
Sir, you guys literally had to do the machine work to frame it, and you literally had to do something with it when you installed the furnace. Where it sits and where everything got pulled out, you admittedly told me that the gentleman that first came out didn't do a very thorough job, likely. So if that was the case, your two best guys, you said, come out and try and redo the work, and I tell them I am dealing with a mold issue somewhere, and they still didn't fix the issue, because now there is an actual issue. There's a certified issue. I have it right there, right in a nice little image for you guys to see that, hey, there's mold in this system. Your two best guys come out, and they have no idea where the mold's coming from. Okay, fair enough. I appreciate you guys coming out and trying this. I appreciate you guys doing everything you did. My wife and I continue to be sick. I'm looking at DIY videos for something completely different, and I see an advertisement, and I click on it. Oh, hey, yeah, there's your VAP coil. You got to clean it out because this is where the mold likes to collect when this happens and this happens. Oh, hey, I just had that and that done. Oh, my God, is there mold there? Well, let me grab the shop vac. Yeah, there's mold there. What the heck? Do you see where the math adds up?
So we do offer evaporator coil cleaning as well. That's another service that we can offer. It's separate from duct cleaning. That always has been.
If you guys knew that there was a mold issue and where you guys are hooking up your vacuums, you didn't even think about the whole issue there might be right there. And you guys didn't think, hey, this might be something you need to do. When you installed my furnace, your guys didn't think, hey, this might be an issue down the road. Look into getting this done. Nobody. Had you recommended it to me right away, I would have jumped at that opportunity. I thought it would be included. But if you're telling me it's not, okay, that's fine. But when you come back out because I have a certified mold issue and your guys are supposedly the best and they have no idea, the one sitting there with a thumb up his ass saying, ooh, hey, that's pretty. I don't know what you expect me to think anymore, sir. I don't know what you expect to think of your company or you as a human being when you tell me that you used to offer mold mitigation and that you don't, and you haven't since shortly after the flood, and that was back in '08. The flood was in '08. You told me shortly after you stopped because the product you're using was harmful. Okay, that's fine. You've had it on your website, though, this entire time. And when you guys first came out, you had it on your website. And if all it needed to be done was clean out my evap coil and literally use a foaming spray that cost me $7 from Menards, do you know how frustrating and how much I am just pissed off right now that this whole thing's been going on?
So
I've told you my wife and I are sick. I've told you my cats are sick. You guys caused this.
So, Adam, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I couldn't sit here and tell you. I don't believe we caused this. I'm going to be honest with you.
How could you not have caused this? Please tell me how my evaporator coil, which is 1 year older than my furnace, is going to collect all that.
Could I please talk for just a few minutes? I'm not trying to argue with you. I just want to explain from my experience the way I'm looking at this. We didn't install the duct in your home. We didn't install the air conditioner in your home. I would completely agree with you. I don't think we did a good job cleaning out your air duct system. And I'm sorry that you do have mold. That is the last thing I would want in your home. To be honest with you, as a business owner, I would never want to mislead a customer. And I am so sorry if you mistook what was on our website.
Stop.
As we're a mitigation company.
You had it on your website in black and white. I still have the screenshots of it on there.
That's okay. But, Adam, we didn't put mold in your house.
But what I'm saying is when you don't clean it properly, that will collect, that will fester, and that will create mold. I'm not saying you put the mold there by any means whatsoever. But what I'm saying is when you do a piss poor job of cleaning something and you don't actually do all the necessary steps, you're going to cause an issue down the line.
That is irrelevant. This was done in November.
Hold on. No, this is not irrelevant, sir. There's no way that this is not irrelevant. This is 100% relevant here.
We did the duct cleaning in November. There's nothing that would cause moisture to continue. My concern, honestly,
Cadillac told me, or Escalade, I'm not sure, it was Escalade told me that I need to run both my furnace and my air conditioner. I ran my air conditioner for the 3 hours he told me to.
No. What I'm saying is there's nothing that adds moisture in the winter. In the summertime, yes, there's humidity. You have your evaporator coil pulling moisture. But you need moisture to create mold. It doesn't just happen. And from November till this spring, there's no way that there could have been something caused by the heating and cooling system that would have created that mold, even if we did a bad job cleaning that ductwork. It's just not possible. Unless there's an external, unless you have something external in your home
Rob,
creating that moisture that would cause that,
Rob,
there's no way it could happen.
At this point, I would thoroughly like to invite you to my place of residence where I will not go downstairs until you arrive, and I will show you what I've pulled out of that so far. Because at this point, I feel like that's what's going to be needed, is I literally need to show you what it is in there and what I am looking at. Because at this point, I don't think you feel me. I don't think we're on the same page.
Okay. So I'm happy to hear you out. I understand what you're saying. I'm not going to refund you for your furnace.
Okay, so then at this point, what are you willing to do? Because at this point, I am pulling all kinds of horrible junk out of that evap coil, and I shouldn't be.
Okay.
I shouldn't be with how new the system is, with how often I've changed out those air filters. I should not have this issue. I didn't have the issue before you guys came out. I have the issue now. What does that tell you by simple math?
We don't know that this was not an issue before that.
I can tell you that the air filters that I would change out before... Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. I can tell you that the air filters that I would pull out before this whole thing went down didn't look anything like the ones now. and I didn't have to change them out nearly as often as I do now. Additionally, I can tell you my wife and I have been sick since this whole thing went down. About late December is when I realized, hey, we're both sick. Hey, there's something wrong here. Hey, why are our cats sick? Everybody in my house has something going on respiratory-wise or otherwise with allergies. No issues before this was done. Are we on the same page? No issues before you guys came out in November.
There's no way that you could be certain that this. I don't understand.
My cats alone show me and tell me that this happened after you guys came out.
Okay.
If it were just my wife and I'd chalk it up to seasonal allergies. I really would. Considering my wife has been damn near dead on her feet when she walks in the door after 5 minutes and starts having issues breathing and starts having issues with her sinuses, there's an issue here, sir.
So my honest thought for you, Adam, is...
My honest thought is I'm going to ask you one more time, what are you willing to do to fix this? Because at this point, I have given you all of the information. I've given you all of the math. What are you willing to do at this point?
So, Adam, what I'm afraid of is it's more than your evaporator coil that's causing this.
What else could it be then?
I don't know. I'm not a house inspector. I don't know.
Do you really want me to have a house inspector come out here and look at that evap coil and look at the furnace system that you put in?
If you guys are concerned about your health and if you're having the issues you're having, if it was my home, I would. I'm a heating and cooling.
Okay, so when they come out here and when they tell me, yep, that's exactly where it's coming from, what are you going to be willing to do at that point then?
If you have a building inspector come out there and he says definitively that's the only source of any issue that you're having, I will gladly come out there and clean.
No, you will not come out here ever again. Your company is done coming to my house at this point. Again, you've had how many people come out to my place of residence? Nobody's told me that this might be an issue. Nobody's even thought that this could be an issue. You are arguing with me about this being an issue. So after I get a building inspector out here, and after they write their report saying that is your issue, what are you willing to do then?
Adam, I'm going to be honest with you. I wish you could talk to me a little more reasonably instead of yelling at me.
Sir, this has been going on since November. I have talked with you now, I don't even know how many times. Mm-hmm. I have told you everything that's gone down. I have shown you everything that's gone down. I have literally taped Petri dishes on the inside of my system, and I've shown you what the cultures came out to be. There's an issue in there, and I think I finally figured it out. And now you're telling me straight over the phone again, no, that can't be it.
I'm not saying that is not a part of it, Adam. I'm saying...
You're telling me it's not even a part of it. You're telling me that that's not possible.
No, I'm not.
You literally said it's not possible for it to have happened.
It's not possible for our furnace installation or duct cleaning to cause this issue from November. It's just, there's no way that could be the issue that is causing this to happen, and why this is happening, and why it made your evaporator coil have this muck and stuff that you're finding on it. I don't know what it could be, but my concern is it's something else in your home, and the last thing I would want to do is come out there and clean the evaporator coil and then find out that there's other things that you have going on. We hear of mold issues in homes all the time, and it's, in walls, and it's coming from foundations and leaking and things like that. I've heard of that. I don't know what causes that stuff. I don't know how to mitigate that stuff, and I don't know. I personally don't know how to pinpoint that in a home outside of what we see with our heating and cooling system.
How about the fact that I did a culture in my open living room, a culture in my open basement, and none of them came back nearly as bad as the ones that were inside my HVAC system?
Okay.
which again, I explained to you. So at this point, you're not willing to do anything, regardless of what I do next, including getting a building inspector out here or a mold mitigation inspector out here. You're not willing to do a damn thing, even if they say it is coming from my HVAC system. Is that correct?
What I am saying, if there's an issue with the furnace that's contributing to this, or an issue that was somehow caused by our duct cleaning.
Tell me, what happens when you hook up that vacuum?
We put the system at a negative pressure.
Okay, great. So the system is at complete negative pressure. Everything gets sucked out, right?
Correct.
Why is one of your rubber caps then? Why was it on the inside of the evap system?
I couldn't tell you why that happened.
It's because you're full of shit, sir. And if you're not going to help me, and if you're going to refuse to take responsibility, that's fine. But at this point, I am done with this conversation. I have tried to be civil about this, and you don't want to be civil. So at this point, screw you and screw your company at this point. Because if you don't want to help me after I've told you that I was sick and you supposedly send your best guys out, and there's still an issue. Good luck, sir. Good luck in life, and good luck with karma. This is Adam Levesque.